Hello, and welcome to our overview of the Connecticut Documentation and Observation for Teaching System, or CT DOTS. CT DOTS is a framework to guide early care and education providers in observing and documenting children's progress. Specifically, it gives providers a process to monitor the skills, abilities, and behaviors outlined in the Connecticut Early Learning and Development Standards, or CTELDS. CT DOTS relies on observations during daily routines and developmentally appropriate learning experiences to check for children's strengths and to determine next steps for teaching and support. This system is designed to be used by teachers or providers, with family input playing an important role in the documentation process. CT DOTS supports early care and education providers to observe children in naturally occurring situations, plan engaging experiences for children, and observe their behavior and skills. Partner with families to share information about their children. Plan for curriculum, instruction, professional development, family activities, and adult support. And communicate about common goals for children. CT DOTS is designed to be used in a cycle of intentional teaching that includes early learning standards, children's interests, and family, cultural, and community context. During this cycle, teachers continually observe, assess, plan, and implement. A cycle of intentional teaching involves planning experiences to support children's development, gathering information about how they are progressing, and adjusting curriculum and supports based upon this information. It is important to observe children in a variety of settings and experiences to get a full understanding of their skills and to plan where we might want to add new strategies. That's why there are 3 ways to observe and document: naturalistic observations, planned experiences, and family input. This ensures that we have opportunities to see children at different times, in different contexts, and to gain valuable insights from families. There are 27 CT DOTS observation progressions across the 8 domains. Let's dive into what an observation progression is. An observation progression describes a continuum of skills across age bands spanning from birth to 5 years of age. The descriptions and examples include skills common for children in each age band. But it is important to always remember that children develop at varying rates and may not always demonstrate the skills described or the examples aligned to their chronological age. That's why a tool like CT DOTS is such an important tool. It helps us understand where children's skills fall so we can help them build to the next steps in learning. The CT DOTS system is organized by domain, observation progression, and age bands. Each domain in CT DOTS appears in a different color. Some domains have only one observation progression, while other domains have multiple observation progressions. For each observation progression, the first 2 rows include a general description of the behavior or skill to be observed for each relevant age band, and examples of how a child might exhibit the skill being described. These examples are included to help clarify observable behaviors or skills that align to the general description. These don't include all of the possible examples, but help to provide a better sense of the skills associated with the age band. Together, the description and examples tell us what we are looking for. The 3 bottom rows include guidance or suggestions for how you might observe and document the skills from the description and examples. CT DOTS focuses on 3 ways to collect data: naturalistic observation, planned experiences, and family input. Naturalistic observations occur when you observe children's unprompted use of skills or behaviors within common everyday routines or activities. In CT DOTS, there is guidance for planning when you might observe and what you might look for. There are 2 ways of capturing naturalistic observations. 1. Plan a specific time and location to focus on a particular observation progression, like documenting peers interacting in the block area. Or 2. Capture important moments when they happen, like documenting when you see a child do something you haven't observed before. Planned experiences are when you intentionally plan an activity or experience that will involve the skills, abilities, or behaviors from CT DOTS observation progressions. Because you are observing skills while supporting learning and development, data collection is integrated into the experience. This type of observation also allows you to observe skills that require adult support or prompting. Family input is when you gather valuable information about the skills, abilities, and behaviors children use at home and/or in community settings. There is so much to be observed at home, and involving families in the CT DOTS process provides a way to engage in focused discussions about a child's learning and development. The guidance in CT DOTS includes possible yes and no questions, as well as open-ended questions that encourage families to describe children's behavior in greater length. These were designed for use during a personal conversation or conference with a family and can be adjusted to include children's names and interests. It is also important to consider how the skills, abilities, and behaviors fit within each family's cultural context. Open dialogue, as well as knowledge about culture and family priorities, will support the effective use of family input and help you build strong relationships with families. The Connecticut Office of Early Childhood, or OEC, has also developed the CT DOTS family pages. These are easy to fill out forms families can use to share observations and information about their child with providers. These are a great way to get input from families on what they observe in their children at home. The family pages also include ideas for supporting learning and development at home. All programs using CT DOTS should work to include family input in their process. However, it is important to engage in this process with a focus on building relationships. It may take time to find strategies that work well for everyone involved. And remember that even if some families don't fully participate in this process, you can still build a strong relationship and work together to support their child's learning and development. Putting CT DOTS into action. You have learned a little about the CT DOTS framework. Now let's talk about how you can put it into action. There are 3 main steps to using CT DOTS: taking stock, gathering data, and summarizing the evidence. Throughout the process, you reflect and adjust your actions. When you take stock, you consider what you know about a child already, sharpen your focus to narrow in on certain skills and behaviors to look for, and create a plan for gathering data. Next, you gather data. We've talked about the 3 options: naturalistic observations, planned experiences, or family input. You can document children's skills using notes, lists, pictures, or videos. You can then reflect on the data to inform your teaching. The information you gather also helps you to continue to take stock and focus your next observations. You will repeat this process over time. Finally, summarize the evidence. At this stage, you reflect on all of the data collected and summarize what this evidence is showing you. During this step, you will determine the age band that is most closely aligned with the data you've gathered and decide if the skills you documented reflect emerging or consistent skills. You can create narrative summaries or complete child summary forms for each child, and you can build class group summaries that help you to reflect on the skills across a group of children. For more information, you can find the CT DOTS User's Manual, the Observation Progression Book, and a handy flip chart on the OEC website. This video is a brief overview of CT DOTS and was intended to help you become familiar with the features and structure of this tool. If you will be using CT DOTS, it is important to seek training and/or coaching to help you use the tool effectively. Visit ctoec.org to learn more.